Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks. It is Monday, which means it is the news at Sticks.
Live.
I'm Dan.
I'm Dom.
I'm Ross.
So this is the podcast where we pick little things out of the news or anything that's kind of relevant to our podcast. And I have got just the thing for us this week.
Is it super relevant?
It is super fucking relevant.
It's so relevant, it's relevant even though it's not.
Yes.
Wow.
I saw this on one of my favourite weekend shows at the weekends, Sunday Brunch.
I like Sunday brunch a bit.
A bit?
I sometimes get on my tits.
What is Sunday brunch?
It is kind of like a Sunday morning talk show where they do cooking.
Like Loose Women?
It's a little
No.
It's a bit more like This Morning, but kind of like a bit funnier and a bit more like, you know.
It's presented by the chef, what's his name? Simon something.
Simon Rimmer.
And then Tim, he's a footballer, wasn't he? Tim
Lovejoy? I think it's Tim Lovejoy.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Was he like a footballer or something?
I think it was a football reporter or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite funny. It's definitely worth a watch. There's nothing else on Sunday.
No.
Okay.
They have, it's really weird. The thing that weirds me out most about Sunday brunch is that when they go to commercial or adverts, as they're called in this country, they have these interstitials with like really like hipstery music.
Yeah, but they've always got something really funny written on them.
Yes.
It's always like, you know, this is the Albatrosses, and then instead of giving you any information about the band that I just made up, the Albatrosses, it's a piece of information about the albatross, the bird. The albatross is the biggest sea bird in the world. Blah blah blah.
There will be a band called the Albatrosses by next week. You know that?
Probably, if there isn't one already.
It'll be on the Chris Moore show.
Yeah, Miles.
Right. Anyway.
So this is something that I saw them doing. I think it was last weekend.
You're not stealing things from other people's shows, are you, Dan?
No. I saw it and thought, do you know what? That would be perfect for our show.
So, have you ever watched Saturday Kitchen on the BBC?
Yes.
Guess who was presenting it this week?
Angela Rippon.
No, Hairy Bikers.
Hairy Bikers.
And they had Meatloaf on, and they made Meatloaf for Meatloaf.
I wonder how many times he's had to do that.
Yeah.
Well, they asked him that, and he said only once. He said when he did like this shop thing, like, you know, when like in the 80s, like a lot of celebrities appeared at malls in America.
Yeah.
And they were trying to break this record to make the world's largest meatloaf. They said, "Oh, did it taste good?" You know, like the Hairy Bikers in their chirpy way. He was like, "No, it tasted like crap." Like on this Saturday morning show. And he said, "But this is really good." They like covered it in bacon. It was awesome.
Oh, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Is Meatloaf like a cool guy still? Is he still like a nice guy?
Come on now.
What?
Meatloaf.
Yeah. Just wondered if he was still hip.
I love him in Fight Club.
I do as well.
Yes, he's awesome in Fight Club. He's
Bob, isn't it?
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, so he doesn't take himself very seriously, though. He was on this show and he was just sort of sitting there, just chatting away, and he just had a story for everything.
Yeah.
He's one of those like old rock stars.
They're the guests you want, aren't they? If you have a guest,
and
you
like
want a guest
they
for
said
a story.
something, and he was like, "I was once in Nepal," and like going on, and he was like, "I was sitting next to this man at a table, and he did this," and it was amusing. Like, I like a good anecdote.
So during the deconstruction of Meatloaf's story, it started with Meatloaf went to Nepal, and then he took us on a journey. It was very amusing, and then it came to a conclusion, a very satisfying one at that.
I can't remember what the story was.
Before he segued into the next part.
Yeah.
And that is how TV works.
I saw them using a product on air on Sunday Brunch.
Oh.
And I thought that I should bring it up.
Do you realise you could do sex toys that early in the morning?
It is. You can do anything that early in the morning if you prep yourself. It's tea.
It's tea.
All right.
In a can.
Right.
Not
iced tea.
Not like a can of tea, like can of tea, like
an Earl Grey.
And what you do?
Wait. Explain those noises.
Like a can, like Squirty cream can
of tea.
Oh, I've seen that.
Of tea.
Yes.
And is it at temperature?
So no. So what you do is you still got boil your kettle, and you squirt in an amount of tea, and then you fill it up with hot water, and your tea's done instantly.
Is it nice?
Is it like a foam?
I don't know what it actually is. But I've got the sort of little advert for it here, and it says it's Teavolution.
Oh.
Properly brewed, better tasting tea. Tasting tea. No more used tea bags to dispose of. Easily control the strength of your tea. Hotter, tastier tea in an instant. It says, ever heard of making a cup of tea without tea bags? Then you haven't tried. No more tea bags. # no more tea bags. # cuppa.
Right.
So they tried it, and unfortunately I wasn't around to see.
Is it called No More Tea Bags?
Yes.
So why didn't they not use the thing they said at the beginning, the Teavolution? Because that was way better.
Yeah. Why don't they call it Teavolution?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Maybe that was already taken.
Yeah.
Well, I think, there's in marketing you've got to have a product that does exactly what it says on the tin.
It does. It
I
revolutionises
suppose it's
tea.
a bit like No More Nails, isn't it?
Yeah. Teavolution doesn't actually.
They don't call that Nailvolution.
Yeah. Doesn't tell.
But they don't use that in the description.
Doesn't tell you what it is though, does it? No more tea bags. Boom, to the point.
My favourite of the No More Nails type brands was the Sticks Like Shit. It's actually what it's called.
Yeah.
And that stuck my...
A brand after our own heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we have a lawsuit in the offing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw them using it. I didn't actually manage to see whether it was a nice cup of tea because they were making tea for like all the guests and it took bloody ages and we were...
I thought the whole point of it was supposed to be quick.
Well, yeah, but they still had to pour water and do milk and sugar for like...
So you don't get the milk either?
There was like 10 guests. No, it's literally... What it is, it kind of looks like it must be sort of like a tea sort of paste, syrup sort of thing.
Almost like... what's it called? They've had to take all the fucking water out of it.
Like dehydrated.
Concentrated.
Like concentrate. Like tea concentrate, I guess.
Yeah.
And they say that you can easily control the strength of your tea, I suppose, by squirting more in or less. I guess what it is, it's just brewed tea in sort of like some sort of liquid form, and
reduction.
And you top it up with maybe it is like a reduction. Yeah, so that was the kind of thing. I mean, I'm not interested in it because it's not really that sort of. I know this is rich on our show. But me sitting here going, well, it's completely unnecessary, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
To remove the tea bags from making a cup of tea. But I kind of thought, my question is, if you're starting to remove like those things, so you can get tea in a can that you just sort of put water in, what else would you like to have in a can? Because you got cream, you got cheese.
A lot of things in a can.
Yeah, everything that I kind of feel like I could think of has already been done.
Coffee in a can.
Yeah.
That's probably...
Well, they had that thing for a short while, didn't they? Where you
I'm saying just coffee in a can.
I don't know if it was coffee or tea, but when you opened it, it actually heated up. I can't remember what that one was. It had like a heating element at the bottom of the can.
Fucking hell, that sounds a bit awful.
It disappeared very quickly, very abruptly with no real warning.
Well, yes, it probably exploded.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Or something.
Yeah, the factory and the marketing department are now in crater form.
Yeah.
What else could go into a can?
Because I was thinking, like, one of my favourite things is gravy. So,
gravy,
I would quite like to just
gravy.
Squirt gravy out and then top it up with hot water. But it's got to be good gravy. That's the problem. Is that it's impossible?
Good gravy.
It's impossible to get good instant gravy. I like properly well-made gravy.
I will always make it from granules. Give it a stir.
Oh no,
you're talking about out of
I'm talking like
making your own gravy,
proper actual gravy.
Oh, no.
Like making like onion gravy in a pan or something.
Like my mum makes terrific gravy, and like it's very difficult having instant gravy because it's nowhere close to it.
Yeah.
If Maddie and I make food, my girlfriend and I make like a sort of anything that resembles a roast dinner, we tend to use like the bags of like ready-made gravy, and it just doesn't come close. I made gravy once.
Use the meat from use the juices from your roasting pan.
Well, I do. Well, I did once, but usually we're in a rush and we don't do a proper roast. It's one of those sort of like things where you've got like a small piece of meat and it's
a little bit of veg and some potatoes.
Yeah, you whack it in the oven for like 45 minutes. It's not like we're properly roasting like meat and stuff. We did once. We did do some lamb, and I made the gravy for that, and it was fucking fantastic.
If he does say so himself, Mr. Modest over there.
But like really good gravy. Not that I've got anything against Bisto. I like Bisto, but it's not really great gravy.
What else do you mix with with water though? I mean, like, because like
Well, that's what I'm
concentrated
saying.
juice. I mean, you can't get any more.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be like it could just be something that comes out of a can
Ready to go.
and is ready to go. Yeah, maybe you don't have to add water.
Custard.
Maybe you add something else to it.
Squirty custard.
Squirty custard.
Yeah, jelly.
Oh, squirty jelly. That'd be good.
Squirty
Oh,
jelly would
That'd be a
good,
good.
yeah.
That'd be a good idea actually, because the problem with making jelly is you have to like break up all the cubes and blah blah blah. You could just squirt the.
And there's
jelly
no need to
paste
heat
in.
anything up. You just squirt. You leave it in the fridge. You go,
Yeah.
and it'll probably make that sound as well, which would be
Yeah.
very amusing.
Well, what it could do is it could come out as a liquid, and you could put it into your formed receptacle so that it makes the funny shape, whatever you want, and then just whack it straight in the fridge instead of having to boil the kettle,
That is a good
break
idea.
up the cubes.
Jam.
That is a good idea. Squirty jam.
Squirty
Squirty
jam would
for
be a
your-
good
for your
idea.
toast.
Because you know Marmite. You know they've got like sort of ketchup bottles, but shaped like Marmite tubs.
Yeah.
They've got that, but I'd rather have it from like a sort of compressed situation.
And also,
Yes.
if someone buys you plain donuts,
You
fear
can just
not, you
whack
can
it
just
in
whack
there
it
and
in the
put your
middle,
Marmite in there.
fill it,
That's true,
fill it with
that-
Marmite. Oh shit!
Like you only
Actually,
see,
Marmite
you,
donut doesn't sound
like,
too
you
bad.
only see the side of the can, and you think it's marmalade.
Marmalade.
Did you put marmalade in a
Butter.
donut?
Oh no, you kind of already got that.
Have you?
This doesn't squirty though, does it?
No, you got that spray like oil.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of butter, isn't it?
Sort of, yeah.
Spray fats.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other things we eat.
I mean, it could be anything.
Mashed potatoes.
While I was on this journey,
Fucking mashed potatoes.
I saw that someone had a entire chicken in a can.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
It was like
How does that
a jellied chicken in a can.
It'd been like minced up and then.
Not like a squirty can, like a can where
tin.
it was a big tin.
Oh, what,
and
and
you
they
open it up and it came out. It looked disgusting.
Yeah, I bet. Like one of those all-day breakfast things that you get in
Yeah.
a can.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're awesome, like stag chili.
I can imagine you eating one.
They're
of
my
those.
guilty pleasure. Those sort of things.
Oh no,
Like an
pot
admiral.
noodles are my guilty pleasure.
Like a Fray Bentos pie.
I mean, I would like to see, like, talking about sort of convenient foods. Like, do you guys like saurine, the malt fruit loaf?
Yes,
It's all right.
I bloody love it.
I like saurine.
I really love it.
I quite like toasted saurine.
I just like it with butter.
It kind of
as
reminds
you know,
me.
I
Of,
don't eat
it reminds
butter.
me of a hot cross bun a little bit.
Yeah, I like it with like lashings and lashings of salted butter. It has to be salted butter. So a few years ago, they started making a snack pack of saurine malted fruit loaf,
Dangerous.
which just had 2 slices of saurine, and they were both buttered, and then they get stuck together, so that when you get it out of its pack, you peel it apart, and it's 2 buttered slices of saurine. But I would like to see that. Like, I mean, you can when you make toast. Like, I mean, I like quite hot toast. Straight out the toaster, I'll
But
eat
once
it.
you've spread everything on it,
But lots of people make lots of toast in the morning and have it on the table for, an hour while they sort of like...
Oh yeah, cooling down.
Yeah, and they kind of like grab a piece and, put something on it and then eat it.
No, I'm with you, straight out the toaster.
You don't necessarily have to have toast piping hot. So I want to see more things like that. I want to see some Marmite on toast in a pack.
Already
Take
done.
that with you.
Yeah.
that's an idea. Convenient foods. My mouth's watering because I haven't eaten dinner.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more foods in convenient packaging. Or something like that. It's a bit like I was actually mentioned this while I was away last week. When I had a brace, I couldn't really eat sort of spaghetti
Yeah.
because it would get stuck because I had a big spring that went across the roof of my mouth. Well, sort of went across my teeth, so it
That
didn't
would
even
send
reach.
me insane.
It was awful.
I had one
It
for
was awful.
5 years, top and bottom, with the elastic bands in between.
Never had it.
Well, the thing was for me is that this is the story I was
Wasn't
telling
fun.
the other day. Is that I had what's called a cross bite.
What's that?
So, like your front teeth overlap your bottom teeth when you bite down. So the front teeth should be basically that they should overlap at the front, and then as it goes round, they still overlap your bottom teeth, but enough that your molars kind of like sit on each other, like halfway, because you've got the little sort of like dent in your molars. So if you sort of pay attention, the prongs on your top molars sit in the prongs of your bottom molars, like so. It's like two Lego pieces fitting together. My back teeth bowed in, so that as the teeth go round, they cross over, like the top and the bottom teeth cross over.
So it's all just clanging together.
Yeah, basically. So my teeth didn't sort of sit correctly. So I had to have this spring across the teeth to push the back teeth out.
Oh, fuck that.
But it meant where the roof of your mouth is kind of, upside down U shape, it bows concave, yes. It meant that the spring went across, so it formed kind of it was straight across.
Like one of those shoe things that for stretching out shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my mother, bless her, thinking that the day that I got my brace, she'd make something lovely and soft for me to eat for dinner, made spaghetti bolognese, thinking that it's pasta, you're not going to have to chew it. It's basically, you can just sort of almost
does it hook
break it up with your tongue.
Stuck down your throat.
So I came home and she's like, I've made you pasta. I took the first mouthful of it and the spaghetti wrapped around this spring. I swallowed, it went halfway down my throat and got stuck. So it was just on the spring. So I was just sitting, eating my dinner with a whole mouthful of spaghetti, like, stuck trying to like pull it out with you have to sort of like pull it out of your
Oh, no.
It was awful. So because I love eating spaghetti bolognese, what I started doing is, to make it easier to eat, is I would cut it up and then I would butter 2 pieces of bread and shovel most of it inside the slices of bread and eat it as like a spaghetti sandwich.
Spaghetti bolognese sandwiches are the best thing ever, though.
Yeah, it's really good.
But here's where our sort of like everything falls down. Tesco's started making lasagna sandwiches. Okay. And I bought one thinking, well, this is basically my spaghetti in a sandwich. Awful.
Well, yeah, it's not really the same, is it?
Worst thing I've ever eaten in a sandwich form. Actually, that's not true. I've had worse.
Oh, enlighten us.
Do tell.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't like. I don't like those. I don't like cheese and pickle stuff like that. And you get all sorts of those.
It was about a couple of months ago where I was looking for a cheese and pickle sandwich because I couldn't find one anywhere. I just had a craving for it.
It's a bit basic nowadays, isn't it?
I know, but some days you just want a fucking cheese and pickle sandwich.
You
don't need Chipotle and everything. It doesn't all need to be
pulled.
It doesn't all need to be pulled off the bone.
Yes, you do.
And it does need to be pulled off the bone.
I had a Chipotle and chicken and avocado for lunch today.
Avocado.
Oh, I love avocado.
Can't do it.
I make a pork and beans, a Boston pork and beans. Where
Frank and beans.
Where what I do is get some cannellini beans, get some pork loin, you chop up the pork loin, you rub it in paprika, oil and chilli, and you leave it to sit for 20-30 minutes. Then you make a sauce of chipotle paste, brown sugar, passata and a little bit of garlic, and then you put the beans in and then you mush it all around.
I'm telling you, this is the next podcast.
Nestle the pork.
It's a cooking show.
Nestle the pork in the beans, and you cook it for an hour or two, about an hour.
Oh, you've got saliva in your beard.
Yeah.
And
you cook it for an hour and a half, just about, and it comes out all gloopy and sticky and chipotle and barbecue-y.
So these are the things. These are the kind of things I want to see in a can. I want to see that in a tin.
Yeah, I could do that.
Can you tin that for us, Dom?
Yeah,
and then compress it.
See,
I'll bring some in a Tupperware next time I'm in.
Because there are a lot of foods which you can get in a tin or a can or whatever, but there's just not enough, I don't think. There are things which I think should be in easy, like toast. Toast should be something which you can go down the shop and pick up a couple of slices of toast.
Maybe like bakery departments need to just have a constant toast round going.
Yeah.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? You just walk into a bakery and get a couple of slices of toast.
Yeah, and also going into your earlier hot cross buns, pre-buttered hot cross buns.
Are we missing a trick here? Could we open a shop in the middle of town that just does toast? whatever topping
in London,
you want.
in Shoreditch, you probably could. It's probably already there.
You don't think it'd work in Canterbury? No, nothing works in Canterbury, does it?
Nothing works in Canterbury.
Canterbury thinks it's fucking cool and hip, but it isn't, is it?
It's definitely not.
No.
No, every time you try something a little bit weird and different in Canterbury, it doesn't happen.
What could you call it? Toast of the town.
If it was somewhere like Shoreditch, it would just be called Toast.
No, it'd be TST.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
It would just be toast.
Or it'd be that like a toast emoji.
Or it'd be toast, but with an umlaut over the O.
Toast.
Toast.
Yeah.
Toast.
Toast.
Because you know there's a place that exclusively sells Swedish granola, like Alpen.
Yeah.
It's not Alpen, obviously. What do you call that stuff? Granola, yeah.
Granola, yeah. Muesli.
Muesli, yeah. Place that just sells exclusively muesli in Shoreditch, or maybe it's somewhere else like that, Old Street or something.
This is what we should do. We should get jobs naming all of these restaurants.
Yeah.
I would call that one Muesli to my ears.
Well, near me in Erith, there's a fish and chip shop called the Codfather.
Oh yeah.
But they've got it in the font.
When Maddie, my girlfriend, worked at a school, there was a little row of shops and restaurants, like fish and chip places, near the school that all had punny names. I can't remember what any of them are now, but there must be like a district in every town that has an entire row of punny shops.
The pun shops. We could just set
quite
up
a lot of them
shop
have been used in
puns.
films, haven't they? Quite a lot of pun style shops using them from there.
Okay.
Cool.
So we're opening a toast shop. That's basically what we're doing.
Copyright, see if it
That
sticks.
is what
Don't
we're saying
fucking
is-
steal that, you bastard.
That's what we're saying is the ultimate. Like there's a whole world of food that we could have just put in cans, squirty cans, little bits of packaging, and we've gone for toast.
A shop that sells toast.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
If I had money to burn, I'd do it tomorrow.
2 slices or 4.
Tell you what you could do is, you know how you get when you get one of those yogurts that has the yogurt as one section and then like some sort of fruit or maybe a crispy treat
On
the other side, a corner based yogurt. What you could do is you could have larger ones of those where you could have a big bowl of milk and then you can have a big thing of cereal in the other side.
They do that already.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
I think so, yeah.
They do milk and cereal where it's like on top of the lid. The lid comes off and both parts are sealed. Your cereal's in there, your milk's in there. I'm almost positive it's like Frosties and cornflakes and things like that. They already do it.
I didn't know that existed.
What they could do though, Dan, is they could have a Muller Corner style pot in the same shape with 2 triangles of toast and a portion of jam.
Oh.
And some kind of device for spreading.
Yes. Yeah, they definitely could do that.
Yeah, a little mini spreading knife, and then you could have lots of different varieties of
You could have the Marmite one,
bread
could have the jam
and
one, your marmalade one.
fucking copyright that shit.
Great
too.
idea.
Fucking
That is
steal
a
that,
great
you
idea.
bastards. Fucking
To
lawsuit.
Dragon's Den!
Yeah.
We should. You have to figure out a way to keep the toast crispy though.
Silica gel.
Yeah.
Do not eat.
Hello, dragons. We asked you to see if it sticks.
Imagine us
We're
on
here
there.
today for £50,000 investment in our business for 5% of the equity. Be great.
Okay.
We come into the theme tune. Yeah. Oh,
One of us can muff up the introduction.
yeah. One of us could make googly eyes at Deborah Mead and just give her a wink or something. She'd be like, oh.
I don't think she can see unless you move.
Ross has to do a little dance. I can have a Barney with Peter, whatever his name is, Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Duncan Bannatyne, who's not on it anymore, can say, that's ludicrous.
That's
to us.
ludicrous.
That's ludicrous. Oh, I've had a heart attack. Go to my health club.
I can't believe no
A
one
man
saw...
that owns so many health clubs has so many heart attacks.
I can't believe no one saw it coming where he's got that bulging eye. He's like
High blood pressure.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah. That's ludicrous.
Right then.
And Theo Pafitis can say, nah.
He's
I
not on it
don't
anymore.
think I've ever seen Theo Pafitis invest in anything.
He's just spectating.
Just sitting there. telling people their shit.
He's not.
Maybe one of
he's
them's
not
his
on it
carer. and
No,
has
none
to
of
be
them.
there.
Like, the only one that's still, I think the only two that's still
Peter
left.
Jones.
Deborah Meaden's still on it, isn't she? I thought she was.
I don't remember. We did
Well,
watch
Mr. Arms is still on it. What's his name? News reporter.
Pinocchio.
He looks up Pinocchio. The news reporter that does the. So, how did it go? Probably
Evan
gets
Davis.
paid $30,000 a
Oh, that
fucking
guy.
series
Yeah.
to like fucking do 2 minutes worth of fucking footage each episode.
Evan Davis.
Evan Davis, yeah, he's got the arms, hasn't he? You ever seen him do actual news reporting?
No.
Because he's like,
I probably
he's
have.
got really lanky, like googly arms.
Right.
He's really out of proportion as a person.
Right. I'll have to pay attention to that.
Don't you remember like Dead Ringers? They used to do a thing on him, and the guy used to have like sort of puppet arms, and they used to be like with little pins underneath him, like moving his arms.
I can't
around.
remember.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
it's a thing.
Well, I'm going to wrap up then. This has been the news that sticks for this week. For the main podcast this coming Thursday, we want some problems. So head to stickitpod.com, which is where you can find all of our social media channels and contact details. Alternatively, just send us a message at flingit@stickitpod.com. Send us your first world problems. We will solve them live on air. Also, if you think there's anything relevant to our podcast or relevant to anything that we've done or spoke about before, send it in as well, and we will cover it on the news at Sticks. But for this week, I've been Dan.
I've been Dom.
I've been Ross.
Skip